Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving back into one of the most epic, most debated, and most requested showdowns in all of pop culture, Batman vs. Iron Man. I know, we've all heard the arguments 1,000 times. But let's be real, it never gets old. It's the ultimate clash of titans, DC's dark, brooding detective against Marvel's genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. Both are peak human intellects, both are self-made heroes armed with incredible technology and unimaginable wealth, and both are driven by past traumas. So, who really comes out on top? To settle this once and for all, or at least for today, we're not just going to throw them in a ring and see what happens. We're going to break this down into a few key categories: intelligence, resources, physical abilities, armor and technology, and finally, the all-important psychological edge. Let's get ready to rumble. First up, intelligence. This is a tough one. Both Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne are certified geniuses, operating on a level most of us can only dream of. Tony is an engineering prodigy. He built his first circuit board at 4, an engine at 6, and the original Iron Man suit in a cave with a box of scraps. His mind works in terms of physics, engineering, and weapon systems. He's a master inventor, constantly upgrading, innovating, and creating solutions on the fly. He doesn't just build suits, he builds artificial intelligence, new elements, and global defense systems. Bruce Wayne, on the other hand, is a different kind of genius. He's the world's greatest detective. His intelligence is strategic, tactical, and deductive. He's a master of psychology, criminology, and a dozen other scientific fields. While Tony builds the weapon, Bruce figures out 10 different ways to disable it before it's even fired. He's a planner, a strategist who famously has contingency plans for taking down every member of the Justice League, including himself. His intellect is focused on preparation and exploitation of weakness. So, who wins? It's almost a tie. Tony is the better engineer, but Bruce is the superior strategist. Let's call this round a draw, as their genius is applied in different, yet equally formidable, ways. Next, let's talk resources. Again, we're talking about two of the wealthiest men in their respective universes. Tony Stark has Stark Industries, a multi-billion-dollar technology conglomerate that's at the forefront of weapons manufacturing, clean energy, and pretty much everything else. He has a global network of satellites, advanced AI, like Friday, and the ability to manufacture virtually anything he can imagine in a matter of hours. His resources are overt, powerful, and integrated with global systems. Bruce Wayne has Wayne Enterprises. It's also a massive corporation, but Bruce uses his wealth more covertly. The money funnels into his Batman operations, funding the Batcave, the vehicles, the gadgets, and his global information network. He doesn't have an AI assistant in the same way Tony does, but he has Alfred, who is arguably more valuable. While Stark's resources are a hammer, Wayne's are a scalpel, precise and hidden. Tony can call down a legion of suits from orbit. Bruce can disappear from a locked room and have access to any digital system on the planet. For sheer scale and manufacturing speed, Tony has a slight edge here. He can literally build an army. Let's give this round to Iron Man, but only by a hair. Now for physical abilities, and this is where we see a major difference. Without the suit, Tony Stark is a regular guy. A very fit, very smart regular guy who has some combat training from Captain America, but still, he's human. He relies almost entirely on his armor for any kind of physical confrontation. Bruce Wayne, on the other hand, is a completely different animal. He has trained his body to the absolute peak of human potential. He's a master of over 127 different forms of martial arts. He's a world-class acrobat, has incredible strength, stamina, and an absurdly high pain tolerance. Bruce could take on a room full of armed thugs and walk away. Tony, without his suit, would get overwhelmed very quickly. In a hand-to-hand fight with no tech, this isn't even a contest. Batman wins this round, no question. This is his domain. Alright, let's get to the main event, armor and technology. The Iron Man suit versus the Batsuit and gadgets. This is the heart of the debate. The Iron Man armor is a masterpiece of offensive and defensive technology. We're talking repulsor blasts, unibeams, missiles, lasers, superhuman strength, flight, and an onboard AI that assists with targeting and strategy. Modern versions, like the nanotech bleeding edge armor, can reconfigure on the fly, creating shields, blades, or whatever Tony needs in that instant. It's an all-in-one weapon of mass destruction. Batman's suit is primarily defensive. It's armored, bulletproof, and shock-resistant, designed for stealth and protection. His power comes from his utility belt and his wider arsenal. Batarangs of every variety: explosive, electric, cryogenic. He has smoke pellets, a grappling gun, EMP devices, sonic disruptors, and countless other non-lethal gadgets designed to disable and disorient. Batman's tech is about control and precision. He doesn't want to level a city block. He wants to take down his opponent with surgical efficiency. So, in a direct, head-on fight, the Iron Man armor seems to have the overwhelming advantage in raw power. He can fly faster, hit harder, and has more destructive capability. But, and this is a huge but, Batman doesn't do direct, head-on fights if he can avoid it. His entire strategy is to avoid his opponent's strengths and exploit their weaknesses. He would use stealth, misdirection, and his environment. An EMP could be a major problem for the Iron Man suit. Hacking the suit's systems is another potential avenue of attack, though Stark's firewalls are legendary. Let's just say for raw power, Iron Man takes it. For versatility and tactical application, Batman has the edge. This brings us to our final, and most critical, category, the psychological edge. The will to win. Tony Stark is brilliant and brave, but he's also arrogant, impulsive, and often relies on his tech to solve problems. He improvises. He's a futurist who builds a better tomorrow. His trauma fuels his desire to protect the world by creating the ultimate suit of armor around it. Bruce Wayne is driven by a darker, more obsessive force. The trauma of his parents' death didn't just motivate him, it forged him. He is relentless. He is paranoid. He is always prepared. This is the man who plans for everything. He doesn't improvise unless he absolutely has to. He executes a pre-existing plan. His will is practically unbreakable. In a battle of attrition, a battle of wits and willpower, Bruce Wayne is terrifying. He will not stop ever. He will endure more pain, push himself further, and exploit any mental weakness his opponent shows. Tony has a heart, both literally and figuratively. Bruce has a mission that eclipses everything else. For sheer mental fortitude and the will to do whatever it takes to win, the psychological edge goes to Batman. So, after all that, who wins the fight? It all comes down to one thing: preparation time. If you drop both of them into an arena with no prior knowledge, Tony Stark probably wins 8 times out of 10. The Iron Man armor's raw power and offensive capabilities are just too much for Batman to handle in a spontaneous encounter. He could overwhelm Bruce from a distance before Batman could effectively use his gadgets. However, if Batman knows he's going to fight Iron Man, even with just 24 hours of prep time, the tables turn dramatically. Bruce would study every single piece of Stark tech he could find. He'd analyze every past battle, find every potential flaw in the armor's design, and develop a dozen different ways to exploit it. He'd build a specialized suit, like the Justice Buster armor, designed specifically to counter Iron Man. He'd use EMPs, sonic attacks targeting the internal systems, and psychological warfare. He would control the battlefield, luring Tony into a trap where his technological superiority becomes a liability. In a scenario with prep time, Batman's strategic mind and obsessive preparation would give him the victory. So there you have it. The winner depends entirely on the rules of the fight. In a random encounter, it's Iron Man. In a prepared battle, it's Batman. It's the ultimate showdown between the unstoppable force and the immovable object, between the master builder and the master planner. What do you guys think? Did I get it right? Who do you think would win and why? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on it. This is one of those debates that will never truly be settled, and that's what makes it so fun. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you in the next one.